What you talking about, Willis?
But he's about to realize he's not just building a home, he's building a family.
I know it's been kind of hard making the move and all. I think you're a cool son.
And you're a cool dad.
Kevin!
I might need that money tonight. Oh, I've never had pains like this before. Oh, this is the worst one I ever had, son. Oh, it's the worst one. This is a big one. I'm dying. You hear that, Elizabeth? I'm coming to join you, honey. Oh. Maybe that's Elizabeth.
Hey, wait a minute. Don't you believe in equality amongst the sexes?
Yeah, can't men do everything women can do?
No, we can't. It's unnatural. A little bit icky.
Your guys?
Well, what did you think Daddy Daycare meant?
I thought maybe one guy, nothing but guys.
I just thought it was a clever name. Is this a daycare place?
They're guys. They're all guys.
They're what?
Excuse me, listen. We are two loving, caring parents. We run a daycare center.
A couple of sickos is what you are.
When Mr. Drummond took on 2 kids from Harlem,
Welcome, gentlemen.
he got a little more than he bargained for.
Welcome, little brother. What's he smoke?
They may be as different as night and day.
I've never seen a black goldfish before.
That's okay. He never saw a rich white man before either.
We're adding new titles every day to our awesome collection of blockbuster movies, from Hollywood to Nollywood. Download the app and subscribe. This isn't just a streaming channel. This is a bold new world of entertainment. Arise Play. Beyond streaming.
It's a part of the federal government's policy of growth and social inclusion, aimed at addressing poverty, which is a major challenge facing Nigeria. The scheme, supported by the World Bank and other components, seeks to support selected poor households with monthly cash transfers. How has this scheme impacted on the lives of Nigerians? Can the federal government sustain the scheme as planned? Are households really benefiting from this conditional cash transfer scheme? We'll be speaking with the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office. And also on the show, illegal oil refining in Nigeria is at an all-time high, and the federal government says about $3.27 billion worth of oil has been lost to oil theft and pipeline vandalism in the past few months. This means that a substantial amount of crude oil is lost in the country per day. This is one of the many critical issues rocking the nation, as the issue of insecurity is also a major concern across the country at a time when Nigeria is gearing up for its next general elections. We'll be speaking with a prominent Niger Delta activist. I'm Somna Sambo, and this is the Arise interview. Welcome to the show. Now, the National Social Safety Net project is a flagship social intervention program of the Nigerian government, which focuses on poverty reduction strategies and drive towards shared prosperity by its attempt to smoothen consumption while building human capital among the poor and vulnerable households across the country. Officials say around 17 million households with about 83 million Nigerians living therein have been identified as living below the poverty line. Aside from the identification, the federal government has also initiated a scheme which transfers cash directly as social security for these largely undocumented Nigerians. Now, the project comes to a close in June 2022, and a new project which scales up the project through the expansion of components of that particular project has been negotiated and approved for just 2 years and not 5 this time around. The project is expected to strengthen Nigeria's ability to withstand future social and economic shocks. Well, for more on this, I'm glad to be joined by Yoa Apera, who is the National Coordinator of the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office. So good to have you here, Yoa. Let's talk about why we are not having another 5 years extension of the program. Why is it just 2 years? I mean, some people may read political meanings to that to say maybe this program is ending with the Buhari administration.
No, it's not ending with the Buhari administration, even for the 2 years. The 2 years starts in this June till 2024. So it's beyond the administration. And we know the administration will come to an end by May 2023. So it's already above and over the administration life. And it's 2 years because it is in response to the economic shock occasioned first by the COVID-19, but also the rising cost of living, including the high rates of inflation in our country. You will also know, or you better than me, around some of the hardship as a result of the war in Ukraine and the rising cost of fuel importation, the current fuel crisis and the increasing transportation, etc. So this is negotiated as a 2-year emergency cash response to pay additional 8.2 million Nigerians. And this is in addition to the 2 million regular cash transfer that will be paying for the last 5 years, as you mentioned earlier, and perhaps also mentioned by the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development last week. She is the person whose shoulder all of this burden sits on, and we as lieutenants only work in support of her clear vision and leadership.
Yeah, and she actually announced during last week that about 20 billion naira will be shared to 2 million Nigerians from June this year. I mean, this is the federal government's policy and all of this. Can you break it down to us as to who are these 20 million Nigerians and how much it will individually get to one person?
Okay, so we first developed the social register, what we call the social register of the poor and vulnerable, which is developed by the state government using what we call the community-based targeting system. Now, the community-based targeting system in itself, it's an engagement where the community members, we first of all define what poverty means to them within the context of the community. And we do that by separating or dividing the community after due sensitization into 3 homogeneous groups of 1 male, 1 female, and 1 youth. And so the youth will define within the context of the youth and the community what they mean by poverty. Could be a definition like the kids of this family are unable to go to school when we are going to school, even though primary school is free. He cannot afford the uniforms that will take them to school. They continue to send them away. Yeah. And then the women will come with their divination and say, hey, for us, the woman comes to the market square every other market day with just a single wrapper without changing it all year round, so they consider them as poor. Why the men will define it as a man with access to land yet cannot afford to farm because he's too poor to afford farm inputs or labor, or that which after they have already harvested their crops, the family will come, the father, the mom, and the children to scavenge on the farmland to get the leftovers so that they're able to feed themselves. Now, this definition varies from community to community. As you know, Nigeria, according to the songwriter, every kilometer makes a different language, and every kilometer meets a different culture and tradition. And so, once the youth define poverty within the context of the community, and the women define within that context, and the men define, we'll ask them to identify the poor and vulnerable households based on their definition. So the youth will make a list, the women will make a list, the men will make a list. We'll bring all of the 3 groups into plenary, and then we'll collapse the list into a harmonized list. So if a name of a family is on the youth list and the men list and the women list, it gets into a harmonized list. However, if a name is on the women list but not on the men list, or the youth list, we ask the woman, why did you pick this family as poor? And they say, by definition, the woman comes to the market every other market day with a single wrapper. The men will tell you, no, we didn't. Why we didn't pick is because this man is a man that champions palm wine and pepper soup at our joint. So he's only a stingy man.
Yeah,
he's not really poor.
Yeah, he actually has the money, but he's not spending it wisely.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once this happens, the community will have what you have, the community harmonized list. Now, the community will then identify one male and one female. They will now become our grievance redress mechanism focal persons. They will sign up on this list. They become the people that when you want to go to the community for any intervention, you can meet them to point you to the houses if the geo coordinates are not working properly. Because for every household that will register, will take the geo coordinates that will to this person.
So
right?
there's a technology that's infused into it.
Clearly.
So that it's not someone else's house. And then you can identify the house and all of that.
Every single one of them. And once the communities, the two people sign on this list, a copy of that list is left in the community. One copy is taken by our local government staff, which are civil servants, and then given to the local government team who are enumerators. They come with the devices, the tablet devices, using Kobo Collect, and then enumerate these people electronically. This comes into the holding server, and then the cleaning and the validation takes place until we're satisfied that this data is clean and meeting all the data points that we require. 138 data points. That is the entire biodata of that, each individual in the household, by the way. And then the overall information about the household, the proximity of that household to a market, to a hospital.
So is it everyone inside the household that gets the cash transfer?
No, the cash transfer,
the family head.
It's based on the family. So the family, what the cash transfer goes to, what you call the caregiver. The family will appoint someone that will collect the cash on their behalf.
Okay.
So the cash actually goes to the family, right? So since we started this program and building the register from 2018, when the funding actually came into full effect, we have raised a total of 11.4 million households. Now, when you are reading your figures, 17 million households are said to be below the poverty line. We have in our database 11 million households. That's about 6 million shy of the total estimate. This translates to about 46 million individuals, which is about 36 million shy of the 82 estimated poor and vulnerable people in Nigeria.
Okay, so if you have this good database and you've been giving out this money, how come that controversy is usually there? Most Nigerians are like, it's difficult to find out someone who's benefiting from this program.
You see, we live in a country, and permit me to say this, perhaps not as a national coordinator, but as an ordinary Nigerian. We live in a country where if it is not me, then it's wrong. And it's an attitude that kills us. We should have faith in government. I tell people, if you do not trust government, how do you expect government to trust you? It's mutual. So we need to also trust the capacity of government and what government is doing.
Yeah,
and
but people just want to be sure that the money is not going to those who already have the means to take care of themselves, that it's really going to those who really deserve this money.
There are lots of testimonials out there, and we have engaged civil society organizations, 18 of them across the country, that monitor and produce this report for everyone to see. And we have state offices in 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. If you go to www.nassp.gov.ng, which is our website, you see the contact of all of those people. And like I said, for every single community that is in the social register, 109,360 of those communities, every single one of them have a signed community list by the community. Now, why do we sign this list and keep at the community?
Yeah, very quickly before we go on break.
Yeah, it is because when you pay this money, the CSO that is monitoring, or the account verifiers that are monitoring, or the government that is monitoring, we come with this list and pick the list from the community. Are these people the same that the community picked? 100% they are. And so you go ahead to pay. And this monitoring report from CSOs come to us every quarter, and it's published as well. Right? And in terms of the CSO scorecard, we just published the second scorecard by the CSOs monitoring this cash transfer within our communities.
Okay, interesting indeed. And a lot of people will be interested in knowing if you give this money directly to them, at hand, or it goes through the accounts.
Yeah, so because of the depth of infrastructure, now if the social register also has information on communities with banks, communities with the proximity of banks close of them, and all of that. And with that, you will take a quick look at it, all our communities where the poor and vulnerable are resided, and we have picked them for payment. We have only about 15% of those communities with functional banks. Right? So the death of infrastructure then meant that we started paying the last mile as cash. Every other thing is electronic, by even the payroll, the getting the cash across to the payment service provider through the agent network. And we have a huge distribution of agent networks now across the place. I mean, in your village, you send your dad money and he just walks to the market square, right? And he cashes now.
And all of that.
Exactly. So that is what is happening. So the last cash mile is through that. Now, what the Honorable Minister, Sadi Omar Farouk, directed early last year, 2021, that it should be 100% digitized cash transfer. Okay. She went ahead to actually demonstrate this by the 1 million COVID-19 cash transfer, that every single person of that 1 million were paid directly through their banks. Okay. And this is possible because, like in all of our villages, there are agents with POS everywhere now. So you just go to the POS and you cash your money.
Interesting indeed. We'll ask you, Yowa Apera, to hold on while we go on this short break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation on Nigeria's conditional cash transfer scheme. I'll be taking a look at the role of the World Bank in all of this. Stay with us.
I just want flex, don't need stress in my life. Avoid the yawa, I no want queue for the bank. Sharp, sharp, I don't open an account. Digital bank, we get the power, now vote. I pay my bills easily, I'm running things like a boss. Collect a loan with no collateral.
Take control. Download Vault by Polaris Bank. That's VULTE. Visit the Google Play Store or Apple Store now. Vault is available to Polaris and non-Polaris Bank customers. Vault by Polaris Bank.
There's no other animal as courageous and majestic as the lion. But with only 50 lions left in Nigeria, they may soon just be a memory. When snares are used for bushmeat, we rob the lions of their food and risk maiming them for life. So please say no to illegal bushmeat and help protect the lions. Keep them wild and keep us safe.
Welcome back to the Arise interview. I'm Somna Sambo, and my guest today is Yowa Apera, who has been here with us. He is the national coordinator of the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office here in Nigeria. And I come to you. Let's talk about the second phase of the program. I mean, this other phase of the program is ending in June, and you're having a new program, which is just going to be for 2 years. Tell us about this new phase of the program, what you hope to achieve and all of that.
Okay, so the program, like we started in effectiveness in 2018, was to build those systems that are necessary for social protection intervention implementation in Nigeria. And so we started with the social register, and now we have those number of 11 million, but also that through that paying 2 million, like the minister mentioned. Now the new program will continue to pay this 2 million. And each person on the 2 million payment will have a minimum of 2 years in the scheme, and then we graduate. And we started slowly in 2018 by starting to pay 300,000. We grew to 500,000, 1.1 million, 1.2, 1.6, and now 2 million that we're paying. And this 2 million will continue. We continue the 2 million as regular cash transfer for this next 2 years as well. Everybody that is enrolled through that process, we have a minimum of 2 years payment. Those beyond 2 years will of course be graduated. Now, what the Honorable Minister has then successfully negotiated as part of the COVID-19 and the impact of it, you know that when COVID did hit, our economy was locked down. There were a lot of hardship occasioned by that. A lot of people lost their jobs, their businesses, etc. And you know the most impact, those who has impacted mostly on are the urban poor. And it's so in every economic shock or recession.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much urban poverty in Nigeria. You'll be surprised how many people are poorer here than even the villages that we tend to concentrate on.
Of course, yes. So when this happened, first, Nigeria didn't have a shock responsive framework that we could activate quickly and get people who are so impacted or affected by these shocks quickly to a platform that will help. So one of the things that the minister did was to initiate the rapid response register using cutting-edge technology by using the satellite imagery to identify the poor urban settlements in our country. And through that and through the use of SMS registration, we registered people. To date, we registered 6.1 million, and we are validating.
Across the country?
Across the country, okay, 6.1 million individuals. And part of it is that we'll then go to each individual houses from that registration to validate the information that you say you're Sambo, you're living in this house, in this street, this is your information, and we take your information, including your ID and your banking information.
But do people graduate from that? Like if their income increases, do they actually graduate from living that for some other poorer people to be benefiting after that?
Yes, of course. In fact, the program itself is designed to graduate people after 3 years.
Not for you to be a permanent receiver of the money.
No, not at all. But yeah, we've had interesting stories of people who write to us that, look, when I started, I was poor. With the help of this, I set up myself, and I don't want to be in the program anymore. Okay. I want to be graduated so that other people will take. We had a story of a woman in Osun State that wrote to us that she no longer wants to be part of the scheme because she's now all set up, so they should give someone else.
Yeah, very quickly, because I'm being told that we don't have enough time yet. What's the role of the World Bank in all of this, and how helpful have they been?
It's a World Bank credit. The World Bank's role, they provided the credit for us, and they go ahead to provide technical facilitation and support. Now, the new phase of the program is going to pay, in addition to the 2 million that we're paying, 8.2 million Nigerians. 5 million of them will be the urban poor, identified through the rapid response register, and then the 3.2 as part of the social register that we already developed. So together, from June, we'll be paying 10.2 million Nigerians, 55,000. 8.2 million of them will only be paid 6 months as a shock response mechanism, while the other 2 million will continue to pay 55,000 for a minimum of 2 years.
All right. I've been told that unfortunately we do not have enough time left to talk so much about this, but I think I'm really enlightened, and a lot of our viewers will actually hope to get more details in subsequent times when we invite you here. Yowa Apera is the National Coordinator of the National Social Safety Net Coordinating Office. We can only wish you well in this second installment of your program, which will be for 2 years, and hope that the beneficiaries will also give way to those who have not benefited, because I'm very much interested in doing that, in knowing that, because some Nigerians, once they get the opportunity to be on the cash program like this, they don't want to exit. Of course, you know better than me. Thank you so much for being on the show. Well, we'll go on another short break, and when we come back, we'll continue. This time around, we'll be talking with a prominent Niger Delta activist. Stay with us.
In 1894, our first branch opened in Lagos, Nigeria. And we took our place in this new land brimming with possibilities and surprises. Take Kano, for instance, where the city's wealthiest trader made his first deposit. 20 bags of silver arriving on camelback. Aren't you glad that we offer online banking today? Expanding across the West African sub-region and beyond, our early presence made it possible for all hardworking Africans to build great things. So is it any wonder that not one, but two first bankers have gone on to become Nigeria's central banker? We are intricately woven into the fabric of society, supporting polo for over 100 years and pushing the limits of athletic performance. Rooted in tradition, but constantly leaning forward into the future. Are you coming?
You first, First Bank.
Welcome back to the Horizon TV, where we speak to the newsmakers as well as ordinary people doing extraordinary things around the world and featuring the voices at the heart of the conversations. I'm Somna Sambo. Now, the federal government has raised an alarm over the increasing rate of crude oil theft in the Niger Delta, saying that around $3.27 billion worth of oil has been lost to vandalism and theft in the past 40 months. Nigeria loses between 150 to 200,000 barrels of crude oil per day to oil theft. While the bulk of it is shipped out in vessels, the most worrisome is the theft perpetrated by artisanal refiners who leave devastation on the environment in their trail. The government says the cases of oil theft has now become a threat to the country's corporate and economic existence. Now, the cases of oil theft is now at an all-time high, even as Nigeria battles insurgency in the north, with armed terrorist groups wreaking havoc and committing all sorts of heinous crimes. Just recently, a Kaduna-bound train was attacked, leaving 9 dead and several others kidnapped or missing. Faced with a plethora of problems, Nigeria has entered its political season and is getting ready to decide who will govern the country come 2023. Various aspirants have started emerging with their various agenda and dreams for the country. Some are said to be strong contenders, while others are hoping to be victorious as well. But the decision of who will lead the nation come 2023 rests in the hands of Nigerians. Well, joining me now to take a look at all of these issues is Asari Dokubo, Asari, who is a Niger Delta rights activist. Asari Dokubo is one who is well known across the country and a leader of several groups, associations in the past in the Niger Delta. Well, it's so glad to have you join us, Asari Dokubo. Now, let's take a look at the oil theft in the country. The federal government has lamented the rate at which oil is being stolen in the Niger Delta, and then we've seen one of the foremost entrepreneurs in the country who is now into oil production too, Tony Elumelu, saying that we are losing a lot to oil theft and something needs to be done. Considering your experience in the Niger Delta and how several groups operate there, what do we say is responsible for this oil theft, and why is it increasingly difficult for Nigerian security forces to contain this oil theft?
While condemning the environmental devastation that is going on in the Niger Delta, oil bunkering and pipeline vandalization is the worst thing that has happened to the Niger Delta region today. Our environment are totally, these fellows who claim to be our people are committing environmental genocide against their own people. There is no marine life any longer. All the mangrove forests, the Niger Delta, after is the second largest wetland in the whole world, is the second largest. Now, These forests, wetland forests, mangrove, is being depleted by the second. It's being depleted by the second. By these heartless people who sell the products they refine for nothing. And people are playing politics with it. They are playing politics with the well-being of my well-being, the well-being of my children, the well-being of others. They are playing politics with it. Recently, we all applauded Governor Wike. They went, we thought that it was real, it's going to last. They went and did some show, and they left. The black suit is back. You cannot wear a white cloth in Abonima. You can't wear it in Obonoma. You can't wear it in Okrika. In 30 minutes, you find out that your cloth is already black. It is soiled. Now, NNPC award contracts 7 billion every month worth of contract to people to secure this pipeline. Are they doing the job? If they are doing the job, why are the pipeline not guarded? Why are we losing so much? When we say we are losing,
so
it's not just.
Sorry to
I
just
am not
cut
going
in.
to play politics.
Sorry to cut in there. Are you saying that the security forces are in connivance with some of these perpetrators? Because it's so absurd that, like you have said, such huge monies are allocated.
I am an insider.
And we can't find a solution to it.
Let me come in. I am an insider because I know a lot about what is going on. To be very candid with you, if the security forces are working, an NPC award contract to Israeli companies, they award contract to all sorts of people to guard the pipe, and they know that the pipe is not being guarded. And every month an NPC is doling out money, they are paying these people. The security people are there on the ground. Do they not see the flame? This thing is not a secret. Anywhere they are doing, there is an artisan refinery, both fire. The flames are going up, the dark flame are going up. Anybody can see it. They bring foreign company, Israeli company, they don't even go anywhere. They say they are flying drones. Lies. They are just ripping the country. Foreigners ripping the country. So this is a problem. They give contract to so many people make billions for doing nothing. And lives are being lost. Livelihood is being lost. My community, Obama, is a fishing community. We rely on occupation. 90% of the people in Obama are bound to the river. It is from the river and the creeks that they get their livelihood, they get their food. All these places have been totally destroyed. Totally. And the government is aware.
Now, sorry to cut in, the role of the community leaders cannot be absorbed here, because a lot of community leaders are also said to be on the payroll of the oil bunkers and those who are shipping the stolen crude.
That is not true. That is not true.
I mean, you are a leader.
That is not true.
What is the reality? What is the reality?
You don't stay in Abuja and speculate, or stay in Lagos and speculate. I am one of the highest people in terms of local governance. I am Alagbe Diabale of the Kingdom of Calabar. I stand on a very high pedestal as a person. And I know that the late Amina of Calabari is not involved in bunkering. And I know that the chairman of Obama Council of Chiefs does not know anything about bunkering. And I know that about the 18 chiefs in Obama, nobody knows about bunkering. And I know that the CDC chairman of Obama does not know about bunkering. And I know that the youth leader of Obama does not know about bunkering. And I know that the woman leader of Obama does not know about bunkering. And Obama is one of the most developed, most sophisticated communities and one of the oil-producing community in Rivers State. And there is nobody involved in the hierarchy of the leadership of Obama that is involved in bunkering. I go to the Calabari Council of Chiefs, or Calabari Chiefs, from the head of Calabari and all the Amadapos in Calabari, except who I don't know. I don't know any one of them because I have my men, I have my ear on the ground. None of them is involved in bunkering. I cannot speak for other people, but where I come from, I know that none of my people are involved in bunkering.
Let's talk about the international collaborators. Who are those who actually bring these ships to collect the stolen crude? Why is it difficult for both locals and security forces to contain these international ship owners that bring ships to receive the stolen crude?
The ships, are they needles or ant or grain of sand? These ships are bigger than houses. They are bigger than 5-story buildings. They are larger than 5-story buildings. Do they just do willy-willy and vanish and come into this place? Is there no, did NIMASA not award contract to people to patrol our coastal water? The Gulf of Guinea is the most dangerous part of maritime territory in the whole world. And NIMASA is paying billions to people, to Israeli companies. And one of these Israeli companies, NIMASA, is paying billions to, was indicted in Israel for giving bribe.
So the solution lies
now,
in Abuja.
NIMASA is paying. NNPC is, I'm coming please. NIMASA is paying people to guard our maritime territory. NNPC is paying. There is Nigerian Navy there. There is Nigerian military of various operations, this one operation, Hope operation, that operation, all of them are there. Where, how does these willy-willy vessels vanished? No, if you are in Port Harcourt, you know who willy-willy is, one ghost.
Definitely, indeed.
So the willy-willy vessel now vanished in and collect and leave. So, and we are being serious.
Now, so should we say that the solution...
The people are dying slowly.
Yeah, so should we say that the solution to this oil theft lies in Abuja?
The people are dying slowly. And I'm coming, please. I'm coming. And it's even hypocritical. The federal government is doing Ogoni cleanup, which is an insult on all the people of the Niger Delta and all oil-bearing community. It's not Ogoni land alone that is polluted. Everywhere is polluted. If you NEP says Ogoni land should be cleaned and they are cleaning Ogoni land, what of Obama? What of Taurus Ramapri, Elem Calabar? What of Isampo? So because the people did not cry out, NEP did not come. So it's NEP that decides for Nigeria to do what is right. This is hypocrisy. This is the double standard that we are talking about. People are dying slowly. In the next 10 years, cardiac diseases, organ failures will be the main problem of all the oil-bearing communities. And who are the cause of it? We were accusing these oil companies before. But I'm sorry to say that what is happening, what the oil company did, is not up to 20% of what our people have done, cheaply with our hand, to kill our people and destroy our environment.
Very interested.
And the solution is this.
Yes.
The government must be decisive. The government must be decisive. And save the people. Save the people first before we talk about money and losing this thing. Save the life of the people. Because they are going to constitute a very big problem and a drain on the foreign exchange. Because if the people start going to India for treatment, going to Egypt for treatment, it will be a drain on the scarce foreign reserve that we have. It will be depleting it. So the government must be very decisive, give the job to those who can do it, and they know they can do it. They should not be giving job to phony Israeli companies and paddy people who are not doing anything.
Okay, as we try to round off...
Some of the trunk lines are not producing one drop of crude for the past 5 years.
Now, as we try to round off this conversation, Asari Dokubo, we've seen international oil companies leaving the Niger Delta, selling their assets to local oil companies, and the local oil companies have been engaged in environmental disasters of recent that leads to oil spill and all of that. What sort of engagement do you think we need to have with Nigerians who buy the assets of international oil companies that are exiting the country so that we stop having these environmental issues?
See, most of these things were not done properly. Now, you take Nembe Creek, the biggest oil field, and you give to a man who does not know anything. It's not from Nembe. It does not have the passion, the feeling. It does not have any commitment. It's not even different from the foreign oil company. In fact, they are worst. So you gave ITO for over 1 month. Over 1 month. There was a spillage, the magnitude of which had never been witnessed in the Niger Delta through ITO facility in River Santa Barbara. Until today, it is being kept, it is being swept under the carpet, except the effort that is being made by the National Assembly to unravel and bring to book the management of ITO, because they did not do anything to the thousands of communities, fishermen that were affected by these monstrous split. The worst in the history of the Niger Delta. It has never happened. And this is supposed to be a local entrepreneur. Or people are asking, instead of these local people, leave the foreign multinational to continue. Because most of these local, they are even worse. They bring the soldiers to harass. When community people demonstrate and go before, the foreign oil companies were being careful because of their image. These people don't care. They flog the people, they shoot the people, they kill the people with impunity. And nothing is happening. Because they believe that you can't take it anywhere.
Okay.
So that is their belief. They engage people, they don't pay.
Asari Dokubo, you've been known to be a voice for not just the Niger Delta alone, but for the country when it comes to critical political statements. That I want to have your view on the calls for a southern presidency, but which we are seeing the two biggest political parties having one challenge or the other because of the issues of zoning. A lot of these bigger political platforms feel that they should open up their tickets, while Nigerians have been asking that it's time for a southern presidency. What do you make of all these calls, and what's your view on the agitations for a southern presidency?
The issue of zoning is something that is practiced in all pluralistic societies where there are multiple nationalities. Now, those from the north, Goodluck was there, insisted that the zoning favors the north, and they argued on it, and they stood by it. It is so disheartening that southern leaders cannot come out boldly and argue that now it is the turn of the South to produce president. It is very, very sad. They don't have the balls to stand up for their people. They are the first, they will be the first beneficiaries, not me. I am not contesting presidency. But they are all shaking out because they are afraid of their northern counterparts. So such people, it is very, 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 very shameful for us to have such leaders who are not bold enough to speak the truth. Now, let us come to the zoning. If it is zoning, why should somebody from the Southwest come to say he wants to contest election? Obasanjo just left. Why should somebody from the South come to say he wants to contest presidency? Goodluck just left. If it is coming to the South, the first people to be offered should be the Southeast. They are the first to be offered. Now, if we look at the whole of the South, because we are going to look at it from different perspectives and angles. If we look at it in the whole of the South, who are the candidates that have come up? What is their antecedent? What is their pedigree? If you look at the candidates, these are candidates who had been governors in various states. How do they perform? All the lot that has come out, all the lot, to be very sincere, the only person that can stand up and talk that he has transformed is state. The only person, all the formal government governors and so on, the only person that can come out and say that, look, I have the pedigree, I have legacies, is Ebola Tinubu. Unfortunately, it's from the Southwest. Lagos is the only state working in Nigeria. Lagos is the only state, and he built Lagos. Having said that, Bola Tinubu is sick, he's old, he's frayed. Can Nigeria afford such a president, even though he has a robust legacy in Lagos? Why will governors from other states that they got so much and they didn't do anything, there's nothing, they left nothing, they left abandoned project, white elephant project, come to say they want to be president? Now, let us look at all the candidates. We have young and vibrant candidates who had never been in government. For the sake, if the Southeast cannot bring candidates, they are bringing people, they say this. Have we not traveled? Every one of them are traveled to the Arab world. In the 60s, 70s, the Arabs are one of the most backward people. But today, you see the Arabs everywhere. You go to United Arab Emirates, you go to Qatar, you go to Oman, you go to Saudi Arabia, you see wonders. Are they not traveling? Do they not go to Dubai?
What of the likes of Governor Nyesom Wike?
If a governor from Rivers State.
Yes, Governor Nyesom Wike.
Governor Nyesom Wike want to be president.
Yes, he says he wants to be the president.
No, I am asking you whether Nyesom Wike want to be president.
Yes, I mean, he has been reaching out to several persons. Just yesterday, he was with former president.
That is very laughable now.
Former head of state Abdulsalami Abubakar and former head of state Ibrahim Babangida.
That is very laughable now.
You wouldn't support such
that
a
is
cause?
very. If Nyesom Wike want to be president, look at him now. Does he look like a president? So we want to get a president like that.
Well, he's a Nigerian and he's entitled to contest for
he himself should know that. No, everybody is entitled to contest. It is our PVC. We are going to examine the person. Somebody carrying cutlass and dancing on the street. Somebody saying this, that. Is it the president you want?
And one would want to ask, what of an Atiku Abubakar? Because the PDP seems like it's set to give him their ticket again. What would that mean for the politics of the South and the North in the country?
No, if you look at Atiku Abubakar, look. Let us look. When I'm talking, I talk sincerely. I might have my bias. As far as I'm concerned, Northerners have no business contesting for president this time around. They don't have any business. But if you examine of all the laws that have come out. When Atiku Abubakar was with Obasanjo, he established an economic team. Today, in that team, we have Okonjo Iweala. He brought Okonjo Iweala. He brought so many people. He brought people with wealth of intelligence. Cerebral people. He brought them into government. It was Obasanjo vice. And that was the best period that Nigeria ever experienced. So if you look at Atiku Abubakar, he has never been a governor. He was elected a governor, he did not take, he was a vice president, he was just a spare tire. But the team he established, even that short one in Kaduna, he was the one who brought him. So all the people that they are celebrating today in Nigeria that did wonders, Atiku brought them.
So you would prefer...
if you are looking at it, we are saying, what will Nigeria have? Nigerians are going to have the best. Oh yeah, let us choose the best. Let us throw it open. If we are going to throw it open, I have just 3 candidates that I can look at. That's my opinion. No, only 3 candidates. And these 3 candidates
who
are Engineer Ten Jacqueries.
Yeah, we would like to know them actually.
Yes, with these 3 candidates are Engineer Ten Jacqueries of APC. He has never been in government. He's a businessman. He's doing his thing. It's clearly he's managing a good business. He's contesting on the platform of APC. Ahmed Bola Tinubu, he has left a legacy. Lagos is on autopilot. Even if you bring the worst governor in Lagos, there's nothing he can change. Lagos is moving on its own. And who did it? Who laid the foundation? No matter the accusation given to Bola Tinubu, he has achieved that. Then Abubakar Atiku. These are the 3 people. Let somebody not come and tell me English. Opubekim Dogo Turinchi, this one. No.
And where will you drop Professor? And where will you drop Professor Yemi Oshibanjo, the Vice President, who we hear there are calls on him to come out, and then Rotimi Amechi?
Yemi Oshibanjo. Yemi Oshibanjo does not even have the courage to come out to say he wants to contest president. He has not had the courage to come out to say he wants to contest president. Somebody who do not have the courage. At this particular time, Nigeria do not need somebody they are begging to come and contest. If you know you can find solution to the problems of every one of us, come out. Don't be hiding. And Yomi Osinbajo cannot come out because Yomi Osinbajo is a creation of Tinubu. And whatever Yomi Osinbajo is, it's Tinubu that created him. Then if you talk of Amechi, I'm sorry, he knows himself. Go to Rivers State and see the things he left. Rivers State was budgeting 3 billion every year. During the 8 years of Amechi, you go and check the budget record. 3 billion. When Dubai was in economic crisis, they needed only $15 billion for bailout. Dubai, the Dubai that looks like heaven. When you read the Bible, they say, I saw New Jerusalem coming from heaven. They are going to rewrite that Bible very well. Because if you go to Dubai, you will see that the New Jerusalem had already come. And somebody budgeted 8 years, $3 billion. And Port Harcourt is still a village. Port Harcourt is a very big village and a slump.
Interesting indeed. As we try to round up this conversation,
he wants to be president.
We haven't heard your voice on other young people like Yaya Bello in APC. He says he is very young and he is courageous to bring lots of development to the country if given an opportunity. And the likes of Peter Obi, yes, former Anambra State governor.
Yaya Bello is a young man, and it will be good for, if it is zoned to his place, to give him a trial as a young man. Whatever is happening in Kogi does not have any resources now. And if Kogi cannot pay salary and this thing, you can put it on Yaya Bello. Internal generated revenue is 0. They only go to they only come to Abuja to come and collect money to go to Lokoja. That's what all the states are suffering. For Obi, I have visited Anambra State several times, so it's my own opinion. I have not seen anything that Obi has done that is different from you dig borehole, you construct road. These are not the things now. Look, go to Cape Verde. Cape Verde, yeah. Small Cape Verde, you think you are in Europe. Go to Mauritius, you think you are in Europe. These are African countries, oh. They are not producing anything. Then somebody from Anambra State, with Onitsha, with Inewi, with everything, with money from Abuja, you see nothing. Everywhere you see erosion, they say he achieved something. And I say, what is the achievement now? At least we have traveled to go and see things. That's why one magician say, travel and see.
Okay.
My brother, travel and see.
Very interesting.
So if I am rating these people, I cannot consider P2B or me.
All right. Asari Dokubo is a Niger Delta rights activist, and he has been speaking with us on some of the issues happening in the Niger Delta concerning the high rate of crude oil theft and the insecurity in that region. And then, of course, he has shared his views on Nigeria's 2023 politics with us. I must thank you for joining us on the show to take a look at these national issues. And that's how it's been for this edition of the Arise interview. Do join us again tomorrow from me and the entire team here in Abuja. Goodbye and thank you for watching. I'm Sumner Sambo.
As you adjust to the new realities for operating your business and engaging with your customers, let us help you transform your business into a digital powerhouse capable of adapting and taking advantage of today's opportunities. With our best-in-class array of digital solutions, you can conduct your business, receive payments from your customers, and perform transactions quickly, safely, and conveniently, because we've got you covered with the right people, technology, and service offerings. Contact us today and let us take your business to its zenith. Zenith Bank, in your best interest.
We started our journey over 7 years ago, connecting travelers to their favorite destinations. Since then, we've revolutionized how we want our passengers to feel while flying. That is why we've introduced our brand new Embraer 195E2 aircraft.
Everyone has a face they need to see.
We're on a mission to add new destinations to our ever-increasing fleet. Our Boeing 777 will take you on an international journey. Mumbai, Guangzhou, London, Johannesburg. And now, Airfleet is adding a new destination, Dubai.
If you're gonna fly, then you should fly with us on Airpeace.
Airpeace flies you from all our domestic routes to Dubai from Lagos at no additional cost.
On Airpeace.
People they make me laugh when they say 2K, not be money. 2K! You don't start, you don't start. See you. You never hear of Fidelity get a lot of millions promo season 5 when you say, we just checking it 2K. You go fit to win plenty millions. All you need to do, carry waka, enter any Fidelity bank, open any Fidelity savings account, collect your ATM, or that account where you get already. Save just 2K. Then lucky winners fit to win 1 million naira every month. On top of that one lucky winner go win 5 million naira and 2 million naira for another lucky winner. And 50 winners go chop 10,000 naira. One by each. If you put the save for 2K constantly, you put it carry up to 10 million naira go house. Oh, work.
My God, it is so evil. If you like, don't go and open your Fidelity Bank savings account and collect your ATM. So, the more you save, the higher your chances of winning.
I hear what the man.
With Fidelity, we keep our word.